This testimonial was recorded at the end of January this year when our client Charley was at about 65,000 followers. In the 4 months since then, he's gained almost another 40,000 followers and he's about to crack 100K. The strategy since then hasn't changed, so everything that you're about to learn still applies. Hope you love the video. Let's get into it. I'm Archie O'Halloran. We run content for coaches. I'm here with my first ever in-person testimonial interview video with our longest standing client and actually my brother. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Charley. I'm a gut health coach and my business is Holistic Gut Health.
And tell us a little bit about where you're at before we started working together.
Well, as Archie said, it's been over 2 years now. Before I started, I was inconsistent with content. I think I had around, do you remember? I think it was
About 8,000 followers.
about 8,000 followers. It was just me by myself completely. I had no staff. And yeah, as I said, I really struggled to find time to post content and record videos and things like that.
So obviously with your content being inconsistent, much smaller audience, what type of impact was that having on your business as a whole?
Yeah, it was just obviously stressful trying to post every single day or even every single week. It was taking up so much time, like trying to edit the videos by myself. And obviously it was holding back. I didn't realize how much it was holding back the business. Like it was such a bottleneck for me and because I didn't enjoy it either. So yeah, I suppose that was the biggest thing was, delegating it just helped free up so much time, free up so much energy and, bring such a better quality content to, what I was posting.
Yeah. So obviously you were still trying to post content. Tell me a little bit about how much time you were having to invest into it, doing it yourself, and sort of the result that you were getting at that time with what you were doing.
Yeah, well, it was pretty early days with video content. I think Reels had only just come out. But I was spending, I don't even know, man. I was spending probably like an hour at least setting up, like trying to record a video, writing the script, using a teleprompter. But then the editing was the worst part. Like I would put it through myself and try and edit it. Then I'd be OCD about it. I remember that was taking me like 2 hours per video. They're like minute-long videos.
Yeah. So total time commitment at that time, what would you say you were putting into content?
Would have been like 6 hours a week, I reckon. If you think about, and I was posting 2 videos a week. So, probably around 6 hours.
So tell me, we started working together about 2 years ago. I don't think it's quite 2 years. I think probably closer to maybe 20 months, 22 months, something like that. What did we first implement when we started working together? Because it's a little bit different now what we do compared to what it was back then. Yeah,
it's just constantly grown. Like at the start, it was really helpful just to have your guidance around like just simple stuff around setting the video up, what equipment to use, getting just the actual raw footage decent. And then obviously I just gave the videos over to you to edit them and then the quality. So I didn't really learn too much there, but it was more just about getting it done and not having to worry about it, just getting the finished product back. So yeah, the quality just got so much better, I suppose. It just, the video started flowing. And I think the biggest thing, like even looking back on those videos, they're still not very good, but with the feedback that I got and then just the reps, like continuing to do it, it's honestly been one of the biggest cornerstones for the growth of the business because it's freed me up and it's obviously everything's just flown from that basically.
Yeah. So obviously you've said like that's helped you grow the most. We can kind of touch on growth, where we're at now, where we were at then. I think you were at, like we said, 8K when we first started. Where are we at now?
I think it's like 64K was roughly what we're on now. So 8/8, isn't that 64? It's like 8X.
8X, yeah. Real quick, if you're an online coach who's already doing above 10K a month, or you've already built an audience of over 10,000 followers and you're ready to go to that next level, hit 20, hit 30, hit 40K a month, then hit that first link in the description and book a call with me and we can chat about how I might be able to help you do that too. Now, if you're not quite at that level yet, but you still want to learn everything that you need to know to scale your coaching business and scale your audience, then hit that second link below and join our Skool community, Content for Coaches, where you can join a bunch of other coaches who are on the exact same path as you and learn everything that we teach our clients to help them get to that point. All right, back to the video. I think what a lot of people don't realize when we start working together is that it is actually going to take, that amount of time. That's something that you just said, like 2 months, no, not 2 months, 2 years we've almost been working together. A lot of people want to see, basically immediate results. What's kind of helped you stay consistent for nearly 2 years? Because we've really only just in the last 6 months properly started to hit our strides.
Yeah, definitely. It was such a grind at the start because I didn't have structure, I didn't have systems, I didn't know what I was doing. I was always getting frustrated. But the biggest things is definitely blocking out time every week. That's something I've gotten really strict on is, filming every single, it was Sunday, but now it's Friday, but every single week. Also having, I've got you obviously doing the editing, but then also having Paige, my assistant, helping me film, but also helping me up, doing the other little tasks as well, and even posting the video. So I think once someone starts working with you, then the next thing they should do is try and outsource or delegate the rest of it. So that all they have to do is just sit down in front of the camera, bang, and it might take me half an hour a week now just to do the filming, and that's it.
Yeah. So you've gone from 6 hours down to 30 minutes, and the result has been, better content in the end.
But in saying that, I did have to work through that. It wasn't like that at the start. As I've gotten better with practice. I'm still not very good. If anyone's seen my bloopers, I still make a lot of mistakes. But yeah, just practicing consistency and also seeing what the audience wants, seeing what my followers want, always engaging back with them. I know that the videos won't just do the work themselves. I also need to be consistent. I also need to engage on the comments, write a decent caption. It all goes in together, but the videos is just massive. It's a no-brainer because, that's where content is going. It's so, I used to just post infographics and now, majority of the content I post is videos.
Yeah. So maybe for whoever's watching this benefit, you obviously said you got to look at what the audience enjoys, try to focus on more of that. What's been your approach to kind of trying to identify what's working best and, what's maybe not worth bothering with?
That's a great question. Obviously the insights, and you guys have actually provided a lot of analytics, and, I do look at the insights on a each post, but I don't really look at the analytics over the course of a month. So looking at that, but also just getting really clear on who I'm working with, who I want to work with, what the messaging is, and what our message is basically. Not just talking about all just kind of random shit. Talk about the things that my followers follow me because of gut health. So I try not to talk about other random shit because it doesn't go very well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with when they're making content. They try to pursue the stuff, not pursue, but, put too much emphasis on the stuff that they care about personally and then their content might not perform and then they're wondering why. But the people who have come to your audience and who are following you now, they didn't come to you for something that's unrelated to your niche. So can be kind of hard to stick to your niche. Any pointers for something like that? Maybe not getting bored with doing the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, there's heaps of things. I think, knowing your audience, but then also remembering that your audience, they need to hear the same message a lot of times. If you've made one video on one thing, majority of people wouldn't have seen that, and then the other people would have already forgotten. So, you can repeat things and word things differently. And then also remembering that, for example, sometimes I think about how, let's say when I started doing videos, I had 8,000 followers. Now I've got another 60,000 on top of that. None of them would have seen my old videos unless they've scrolled back. So you can recycle content. And just knowing, you work with, if you're a coach and you're making content, you're working with people every day. That's my biggest source of inspiration for my content is what am I talking to my clients about? Because they're probably at a different stage to what me as a coach, is at. So, trying to keep it so that they can understand it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's something that you've probably excelled at as well, is being able to simplify information that people sometimes think is a little bit complex and, being able to communicate it in a way that's easily to understand. Before we started working together, let's go back obviously 2 years, do you have any doubts or fears, about starting on something like this, putting a lot of emphasis on video, investing into your business?
Yeah, 100%. When I started, obviously it was a big investment to delegate something. First off, for me, it was hard to give up control because I was very controlling over my social media. But then secondly, invest a substantial amount of money into getting content done for me. And it didn't pay back I was only just thinking about it in time. I had that clear comparison. I was spending 6 hours, now I'm spending 2. That makes sense to me. But from a financial standpoint, the business wasn't really growing. Even my social media page wasn't really growing. It took a long time to build traction. So I think that was my biggest doubts, definitely. And also you do put a lot of time into it. So to see it nothing much happen in a year, it is hard. But then I also think about my clients and how, like, when I speak to them and tell them about the timeline and their expectations and expanding your time horizons. And if you think about, like, finance, for example, like if you put money into the stock market, you're not going to see a clear return on your investment straight away. But the longer you leave it there, the more it just builds and compounds. And now, like, if you look through my notifications, there's so many different videos that people are following me from or watching or commenting on, like, because they're just there. Like, you think that people just watch it that day, but it doesn't. It sticks around. So it just compounds and compounds over time.
I would say we were getting some growth for, probably a year, but it was nothing substantial compared to what it is now. Do you feel like there's anything that kind of happened that made you really hit your strides, or was it just consistency and just reps, and then that started to really compound and pay off?
Yeah, reps, definitely. Getting better in front of the camera, definitely. Being more consistent, definitely. Obviously experimenting with different types of content, experimenting with, going out in public more, or using props, things like that. Definitely saw some videos go heaps better than others, so I have that data to work off. So it's just a learning process.
Yeah, definitely. So we've gone from 8K to almost 65K now. What impact has that had on the business?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Well, if you compare it now, like, obviously my time on social media is insanely reduced, which is great for my mental health, but also allows me to be more productive in the business. Because it wasn't I spend so little. I still spend some time doom scrolling, but actually working is so much less of a commitment. And then financially, I think, it wouldn't even be in the same. I can't even remember what the business was doing back then, but we've consistently grown in that time, and just leads as well. Like, so many more leads, so consistent leads, because obviously just sheer numbers, like, with that amount of, like, the quality of the content's there, but with that amount of followers, obviously some of them convert into leads. We've been able to launch a low ticket product, which has had, a few sign-ups, so that's awesome. I've got 2 coaches working with me now as well, so we've got a team of 4. So just in every way, like, I think that's what I was saying before, like, everything's kind of flown from that. Like, that was literally the first thing that I delegated in my business, and it led to so many other results.
Yeah. So if you had to guess, like clients, for example, when we first started working together, and the difficulty of getting them is one thing to consider. Like, you might have had a few clients, but they weren't coming that easily compared to now. Like, you had how many at the start, and how many are you working with at the moment?
I would say the biggest tangible results that I've seen since starting is we're pumping out so much. We can now go from 1 piece of content or 2 pieces of content to 6 pieces of content, 7 pieces of content a week. So that's nearly tripled. We've built up an email list of over 5,000, and that's been from your advice with the lead magnets and even ManyChat, like, helping to deliver that. I may not have even come across that before. Obviously, number of leads has probably 4x'd. So, like, we went from 50 to 200 leads per month. Total number of clients has increased. Revenue has, I think revenue's 4x'd since back then. So that's a massive improvement. And obviously followers, like, as you said, followers is 8x'd. So huge difference. And even the videos, like the views on the videos, going from, I know for sure I never used to crack 10K, and now I've had videos going, 100, 200, 500,000 views. So even just one video like that has I've had videos that have got me 10,000 followers from one video. So that's how much of a massive impact. Like, if you just keep putting in the reps, there wasn't really anything magical about that, but I was consistent, and I've had multiple videos that have done 5,000 plus followers that have brought into the page. So I think if there's any advice or inspiration for other people, it's like one video can literally change the whole course of your direction with your business and everything like that.
Yeah, for sure. And last thing, any advice for somebody who's maybe on the fence about investing in themselves, investing in their content, in their business, and maybe preparing to, like you said, commit to the long haul, because it's probably not going to happen overnight.
100% it's not. It's a no-brainer though. Like, honestly, if you ever want to if you sit there every week and love editing the video and you're willing to sacrifice multiple clients a week just to do that, go for it. But if you don't want to do that forever, then you've obviously got to make that decision at some point. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to build a successful business without content in the current environment. So yeah, if someone was on the fence, I would just say, like, the earlier you start, then the earlier you can start to build that momentum, and the sooner you'll get there. But you probably don't realize how many ways that you're holding yourself back by not actually getting the right help with something like content.
Yeah. And it's not just about followers and return on investment in terms of money straight away. It's also going to be time, and it's also going to be experience. So
yeah, that's what I mean. There's so many different things that you probably don't realize that are being held back. And if you're going to go bare bones, like how many people are you not being able to help? Like that's what you do it for most likely. You probably didn't become a coach to just edit videos. So how many people are you not helping by editing your own videos, or how many people are you not reaching because your content is not getting the engagement that it should?
Exactly. If you've made it to the end of this video, first of all, hit subscribe. And again, if you're an online coach or practitioner and you're above 10K a month, or you're above 10K followers already and you're ready to go to the next level, hit 20, hit 30, hit 40K a month, then hit that first link below and book a call with me and we can chat more about your goals. And if that's not you, but you still want to learn everything that you need to know to build a profitable coaching business and a really valuable audience, then hit the second link below and join our Skool community, Content for Coaches, where we teach you everything that you need to know to be able to do just that. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.